halfway through. I made it all the way through halfway through.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Hey, and we're live.
And we are live. Let's see if we're live over at Jim and Stu show. There we're live. Yay. All right. So what's going on?
I can't believe it's hump day already.
I can't believe it's June. It was true. Christmas not too long ago.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Hey,
I'm glad this year's moving fast because man, whew,
you
ready to
think
get back to normal.
You think you know where I am, don't you, Stu?
I think you're in your office in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a background? I love it. I did the same thing for my background.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I just don't use it. It's just that's the way it is right now. I'm about to refigure my office. I got a whole bunch of like I love me wall stuff that I need to like present, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'll just move my desk up against the wall, so my studio will be, with a wall background like yours.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
awesome. So this past Monday, we did a cool workout, the Murph, and then this is our last podcast at this time for a while.
Just for 3 weeks.
You're doing something cool over the next 3 weeks. Good morning, Vicky. What are you going to be doing, Stu?
Well, I'm going to be testing out a live stream workout video at the Naval Academy done with midshipmen for their summer seminar training program.
Okay.
So it will be broadcast on they're going to let me broadcast it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
And they'll send the link out to 3,000 candidates that are qualified to go to the summer seminar program.
Okay.
So
does that mean they're not doing the summer seminar thing?
They're not doing it
in person?
Virtual again. Yeah, I don't think they could pull the trigger fast enough to make it happen. Because they start filling these things up in January, and by January it still wasn't sure where we would be by May or June, and so yeah.
So
sucks.
Are you going to be doing it in front of the regular midshipmen there? Are you going to have people doing it, or are you just going to be by yourself on that big football field all by yourself?
No, I'll be doing it with the detailers, the midshipmen, and we'll just be talking and getting them all fired up. So I'll be doing workouts with midshipmen.
Okay.
That are leading by example for the young high school kids that are candidates to enter next year.
Okay, cool.
So it should be fun.
Yeah. So we'll let you all know when we'll be live over the next 3 weeks. We just got to find the time and which time and day is going to work. Next week, we're also doing the 7-day Write Your Book Challenge, the live 7-day challenge. Everybody's going to start on Monday, and they're going to have their book done by the following Monday. Book done
sweet.
And published. So that's, yep. And the way you get access to that is it's a free bonus when you buy 7-day ebook version 3.0 at 7dayebook.com. So everybody who's bought gets that as a free bonus. And it's truly a bonus, because as soon as we get it done and turn it evergreen, I'm going to turn it into an order bump. So it's going to cost extra. So go buy it now, or you'll pay more for it later, and you won't get to do it live with me. You'll have to do it by yourself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, that's it for the housekeeping stuff. What are we going to talk about today, Stu, on the Jim and Stu show? I know what we're doing for the podcast, but what are we doing for Jim and Stu show? Yay.
Yeah. You know what? This one I think may require a wizard walkthrough.
Uh-oh.
One of my favorite things to do on these segments, this Jim and Stu show, is when you walk through a wizard, or just say, go do this wizard, because it will help you. But anyway, it was a question up on the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks group page on Facebook. She just asked, what wizard or script can I use to create high converting Facebook ad? And then she continues, what about a compelling blog post? Should I just keep using short video sales letter or do an avatar story? What do you suggest? And then I put, is there a wizard for that? So,
okay.
I can probably answer a couple of those. I'm not sure about a high converting Facebook ad. You may have a better answer than I would on that one. But for blog posts and avatar story options, I got plenty.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
do you want to what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want
Start
to
off. You start off and I'll clean it up at the end.
Okay. So it's interesting when people ask about Facebook ads. It's really interesting what different people's perceptions are of what a Facebook ad is. As far as Facebook is concerned, Facebook really doesn't give a crap what you run unless it violates their terms of service. But pretty much anything can be an ad, a graphic, a long post, short post, a video, a talking head, whatever. They don't care. So what matters when we're talking about a Facebook ad is something that's going to drive people to the next step in your process. So for some people, it's as easy as asking a question and then giving a call to action and having some sort of an image with it. For some people, questions won't work because Facebook says, oh, they're revealing too much about themselves. So like, if you can't ask, are you a 45-year-old overweight female who's pre-diabetic and wants to lose weight and look good in your swimsuit? Apparently they think that's invasive. So
yeah, you can't say lose weight at all. Like I've had some ads get dropped because whether it was lose weight or lose inches or get in shape, I mean, they're
Right.
pretty strict on that. Yeah.
So it just depends. So the thing to understand is that we have several different scripts, mainly for Facebook ads. Just a straight Facebook ad. Those are mostly found over in funnel scripts. So I've got a couple different funnel scripts that you can use just right off the bat to help you just create quote unquote ads. So if we come over here, I'll show them to you real quick so you can see. One is the conversion ad script. The other one is the curiosity ad copy script. That's the one that's more for running on niche sites rather than just straight on Facebook. And then the Facebook Newsfeed ad scripts is one that'll help you come up with, what people more or less think of as short Facebook ads. But this conversion ad script is pretty good. This actually was created as part of the One Funnel Away Challenge. So we'll just load an example, and this just straight up, it's just trying to start a conversation. It's a mini hook story offer. So there's a reason why hardworking unicorns are getting excited about this weight loss 28-day challenge. It just said weight loss. You can't use weight loss, but okay, I'm using weight loss. It makes it easy it takes all the guessing out of how to get into better look and feel great on every quest. The Multiply Your Magic Challenge gives you the formula to live life's most legendary unicorn in the kingdom without working 80 hours a week. Learn more here. So this makes just hook story offer type ads. And these work really, really well, especially when you're just starting out and you're just trying to test ads and test markets. If you've got a Facebook page, if you're trying to run ads to your followers, if you're trying to run ads to people that are on your profile, things like that. These are great for doing that. They're short, they're quick, they go great with a picture, and it's a good way for beginners or advanced people just to make a quick ad that works pretty well, and to create a baseline too. So the curiosity ad scripts, these are more these are more like the ones you see at the bottom of Outbrain or they're not at the bottom of Outbrain. Outbrain is is one of the things that puts them out there. But like if you're looking at Yahoo News or MSNBC or a lot of these news sites, and down at the bottom you'll see a thing that says more stories from around the web. those, and it's like Virginia drivers, blah blah
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah. Those kind of ads. Now you're like, oh yeah, those ads generate a crap ton of traffic. They really do. So this helps you write those types of ads. So, want to be a real estate investor? X Pizza Delivery Guy shows you weird trick to become rich and famous in a weekend, or shows you weird trick to become a successful real estate investor. Real estate agents fear her. A shocking real estate trick has real estate agents annoyed. This weird solution. Try this weird solution to become rich and famous in a weekend. So these are the kind of things, X Pizza Delivery Guy published a simple real estate secret that has real estate agents furious. That's just a total curiosity play. And so those can work depending on your audience. And then we also have the Facebook Newsfeed ad scripts, which are really just now the way Facebook works. What really works on Facebook, especially because, bless you, so many people are on mobile, that pretty much it's just a headline and a hook. It is pretty much all you're going to get. You can fill in the stuff with the description, that's fine, but most people are never going to see it.
Huh.
So, this will kind of help you generate an ad. And you can just keep clicking this until it does it, depending on what you're doing. But little known ways to make more book sales. For aspiring authors who want to experience true freedom as an author but can't get started, free training, stop struggling to get more exposure for your book. Again, these are just hook. And then you're trying to drive people to action. So this one, you can just keep clicking till you find, something that works. Little known ways to don't go free video, make more book sales now. Here's the real reason you're failing with ebook promotion, and 2 things you can do to change that right now. Check out the sample plan to make more book sales. Again, it tells you nothing, but it is totally based on the hot buttons that people respond to. And it's interesting, Stu. We're going to take just a step back and then we'll come back to this. I've been bitten by a bug, Stu.
Okay.
You know how some people, especially as they get older, they get bitten by the bug to chase the white ball around the green links, 18 holes a day. Yeah, that sucks.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I have been bitten by the fishing bug. Hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I love that one.
Because this weekend, we had the first annual Edwards Memorial Day fishing tournament.
Oh, fun.
I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. So here's a fish. Check out that fish. Come on, focus.
Oh, I saw that one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So, unfortunately,
is that striped bass?
No, that's a drum.
Ah.
Unfortunately, I did not catch that fish. I caught this fish.
That's a tiny one.
But I have discovered the joys of casting a lure off the end of my dock into the grass and catching stuff.
I love it.
And so now what I'm realizing, and this is the perfect metaphor for advertising. This is why I'm going here.
I love it.
I all of a sudden am the proud owner of a tackle box, a bunch of different kinds of lures. Nice. You've got top bait. You've got stuff that sinks down about 10 inches. You got stuff that you jig up and down off the bottom. You do all this other stuff. There's different lures for different types of days, different temperature of water, different lighting conditions, all that other stuff. And that's exactly what you're doing with these ads. Now, here's the thing. The same lure that's working today at noon when the sun is in the sky is not the same lure that's going to work at dusk when it's low tide. And it's the same thing with your ad. Just because the ad's working now doesn't mean the ad is going to keep working when conditions change. That's why you have to test a whole bunch. What's up, Parker? You have to test a whole bunch of different lures, just like you test a whole bunch of different ads. And the purpose of the lure is to get the fish to react without thinking. And the way you get the fish to react without thinking is to flash something in front of it that in its brain it thinks is food. It's something it wants. That's the same thing with your ads. You want to flash something that's related to people's that's related to people's hot buttons, that's going to make them react and click really before they've even had a chance to think. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm showing you, that's why these ads are done the way they're done. And actually this last one right here, I showed this. I mean, I've been using it. A lot of people have been using it. Thank you, Valerie. Valerie says, I love that we can load our avatar into the ad scripts. I love it too. But I showed this to a person that's running millions of dollars a month in Facebook ads. And he told me, oh my God, I can't wait to use that because that's going to help me come up with hooks and stuff so much faster. So we have 3 different things that you can use inside of funnel scripts specifically to quote unquote make ads. Now there's a whole world of other scripts you can use to make stuff that you could use as an ad. Stu is great at hot wiring things inside of Easy Online Wizards and turning stuff I never thought would be an ad into an ad. And Stu, what are some of the scripts that you like to use inside the Jim Edwards Method Premium Easy Online Wizards that you've made ads and or just stuff that you've promoted?
I love, sorry, someone's knocking at the door and Parker's going nuts. So that's why I'm on mute here. Okay. No one's home. So
tell him to get his SIG and go up and answer the door.
Come on. No, I use the Avatar Wizard. I've written great articles with the Avatar Wizard. In fact, one of my favorites was an Avatar Wizard with a nice little title that I used. It was like, have you ever seen a Spec Ops candidate cry? I think that was Gary. Gary came up with that one.
Gary Halbert, yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm sorry about Parker. And then I also used the one we did last week with the Persuasion Wizard.
The Hidden Persuasion Wizard. Yeah, that's a good one too. Because the thing is, here's the thing that this one, the other one, and the others have in common. These create stories, and stories work great as ads on Facebook. They work great anywhere. They work great in emails. They work great anywhere. The key is you got to test different lengths. You got to test different stories with different audiences and different places where you're posting them to find out where you can do long ones, where short ones work, where all that stuff works. So that's the answer to the question. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff that you can do. Can you clarify what is location and everyday person question in curiosity ad script? Oh, that's a good question. So the purpose of that in the curiosity ad scripts is location is anywhere, but location it can be anywhere. Like I used to put Williamsburg, Virginia in there, or wherever. It's just a location. The location just gives it legitimacy. It could be anywhere. Dubuque, Outer Mongolia. I mean, just anything. All right. And then the everyday person is the thing that makes somebody go, holy crap, if they could do it, or wait, that it's a non sequitur. So, I've been a pizza delivery guy. I've been a janitor. I mean, I've used that before on ads. Ex-janitor shows you how to write and publish your own book in as little as a week. Ex-pizza delivery guy becomes millionaire with downloadable files. I'm a grandpa of 4. I am a part-time chicken rancher. I mean, literally all of those things are true about me. And then you can marry them up with the different things that you're trying to get done. So the part-time chicken rancher one is fun to do. And again, this is all about curiosity. It's throwing stuff. Would you throw them out in the yard or something?
No, it's a long story. It's all right. No, we're good. We're good.
And then Valerie asks, is that about us or about the avatar? It is about the person, or it's creating the story in the ad. So it's not about them. It's the avatar. The ideal customer is going to look at that and, and say, oh my God, an ex pizza delivery guy made $1 million. I need to read about this. Part-time chicken rancher discovers secret to land trophy-sized bass on 20-pound test using Coke bottle tops as lure. What? Now, if you're a fisherman, that's going to grab you. One-legged blind golfer outdrives Tiger Woods. What? I got to click on that. So that's the purpose of it. It has nothing to do. It's not your avatar. It's the person. It's a person or a weird character, or it's to snap people out of their hypnosis, which is really what you're trying to do. You're sort of trying to snap them out of hypnosis, but you're also trying to hypnotize them with something they're interested in at the same time. It's kind of like if Stu wanted to use the old thing from the back of the comic books, 98-pound weakling transforms himself into elite operator and graduates buds as top as honor man. That would
grab you.
That would grab people, and that's a derivation on the old Charles Atlas thing of getting sand kicked in your face. Remember that on the back of the comic books, man?
Classic. Yeah, classic.
So it's that contrast, it's the dichotomy, it's the thing that makes them go, what? In the space of eight frames, the guy goes from a 98-pound weakling to big buff and getting chicks and kicking ass. I mean, that's America, all on the back of a comic book. Remember remember the dingo boots? Where the guy's like kicking ass where he's wearing dingo boots and he kicks the crap out of some guy because he's wearing dingo boots. You remember that?
I do. It was messed up.
Or the thing where it was like a thing you wore on your wrist that had weights on it and stuff that was going to make you really, really strong. And anyway.
Yeah. What were the other things, like space monkeys or something? What were those little things?
Oh, sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys. There you go.
Yeah. And it was like this naked family of aliens. That lived in this bubble house, and it's like sea lice that you're gonna hatch. But hey, it's a happy naked pink family with stuff poking out the top of their head.
Yeah, that's good advertising there.
There you go, Valerie. Just play with it. Look at the examples, and you'll see. Load some of the examples, and I think you'll see what we're after. All right.
Yeah, that's something I do with wizards and scripts. Is if it's a new one for me, I'll load a couple of that you've already done and just see how it reads. And I'm like, just replace a couple of words and, you can personalize it for yourself real easy and then go through it and fill it out or load your avatar. See what happens.
Like, here's one, mom, this one's for pest control, want to be a professional pest control specialist? Mom shows you weird trick to kill those nasty bugs and snakes before they get in the house in a single day. It's just like, I got to click. I got to find out. It's called cognitive dissonance, I believe.
Huh.
Ex-janitor. Here's one.
It's a hook.
Want to be a best-selling author? Ex-janitor shows you weird trick to be a best-selling author in a weekend. And then the Pineville, North Carolina, or New York City, or whatever. Publishers fear her. Shocking book publishing trick has publishers annoyed. Tried this weird solution to be a best-selling author in a weekend. It's just to grab it. It's like 300-pound bat baby devours 50 pounds of ice cream and crushes house with a single fart. I mean, it's just remember the Weekly World News?
Yeah,
when you were a kid, yeah,
those are crazy topics.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, well, I think we've beaten that 300-pound baby enough.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was fun. We should do that more often. I got a lot of cool tools I guess people don't know about.
Oh yeah, you got to do a wizard walkthrough because once people see it working, it's like, oh man, that's a no-brainer, and you get fired up to use it yourself.
Exactly. If I were going to tell you the one that I would tell you to use today, it would be to go in and use the 60-second tidbit wizard. That one's like, you know, I'm really right now the thing we did a few weeks ago where you were like the 6-word headline or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, the 60-second tidbit wizard. I'm really gravitating towards the fact that people have no time or attention span anymore. And if you can do it in a minute, just something in a minute, you're dropping nuggets, bombs in a minute. People will watch a minute video, especially if they're watching it to double speed. And on Instagram and other stuff like that, I think that's a really important skill to start developing. And that tidbit wizard helps you to be able to do that.
Love it.
So, and you can use that as an ad too. The other thing is, you know, people are all fired up about, oh, run ads and yours cost money, get poor.
I'm going to end up selling pickles on the corner. I'm going to be a poverty-stricken pickle peddler in public. No!
What you do is you post content and then you see stuff and see, you know, and see what people react to. Boydtech asked, what about 60-second selling machine? 60-second selling machine is amazing. The purpose of 60-second selling machine is to create a 1 minute, a 60 to 90 second infomercial based on the infomercial formula used by a mutual friend of ours, a guy named Alden Mills, who sold the perfect push-up using a 1 minute infomercial on broadcast television. That is great to create a commercial, but the 60-second tidbit wizard is to create a 60-second tidbit of info that you use also. So it's not an either or, it's use them both. Use everything. You do a bunch of stuff. You should be making content every day. I mean, I go down to the end of my dock and just talk smack no, I don't talk smack. I actually plan out what I'm going to say. It takes a lot of work to look that casual. So, but there you go. Is it possible to purchase a single script of funnel scripts or have to purchase them all? You have to purchase them all. We don't do one-off scripts. Okay, so we ready to do the podcast?
Number 120. Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. I think this is important that we should have some music. And the reason I say that is because this is rather momentous that we're doing podcast episode 120. So I'm going to work on my timing for this one. And here we go. Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to episode 120 of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm your host, Jim Edwards, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Welcome, Stu.
Hey, thank you, Jim.
And today we are going to be talking about an important topic for everyone who sells anything on the interwebs. If you want to make the skeeters, if you want to make the money instead of putting on that hairnet and heading down to McDonald's and using those words that have generated billions of dollars all around the world, would you like some fries with that, or perhaps even a hot apple pie? You better learn how to price your products. That's what we're going to be talking about. Pricing your products for maximum profit. But Stu, yes, there's a reason why we're doing this topic. You got the idea for this topic on a previous episode. Give a little backstory to the folks.
You bet. Yeah, originally we were going to talk about something else for podcast 120, but something I like to do, you know, in my spare time. You know, I'm driving around, I put my phone into my car and pop a podcast on. I listen to our podcast, you know, when I'm driving around. One, I want to make it better. Two, it fires me up to go do things. So you can get these podcasts in the audio format on, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. So download them on your phone, subscribe to them, and you can check these out. Just listening or hanging out in your car, doing some work.
And you can also get all those links by going to thejimedwardsmethod.com/podcast. You can get the links to all the goodies.
Nice. But yeah, so we originally had a different idea, but about middle of the week, I sent an email to Jim and said, "Hey man, I really enjoyed listening to the Imposter Syndrome podcast again, because you took us off on a little bit different tangent on pricing. And it was very good information that you shared on that one. So I would suggest checking out Imposter Syndrome, because this has something to do with it. I remember when I first started writing ebooks, I had a published book already. And I was thinking, well, this is an ebook. It's not a published book, so I shouldn't charge as much as my published book. But then again, it is instant gratification. They don't have to wait for it. So I was kind of going in this little dilemma of, how much I should charge an ebook for. And then next thing I know, people are charging $50 for ebooks, so I don't charge that much, but it is a constant problem for me to undercharge what I do. And I'm trying to figure out that price base that works for my customers.
So what's your question?
Oh, the question. The question is, it's really not a question to it. It's talking about pricing your products and services.
Okay.
Whether it's online or local, in the brick and mortar type store,
right.
And things that we need to look out for in that process of, one, overcharging or undercharging, or what's that sweet spot in the middle?
Okay, so there's a bunch of different stuff to unpack here, and we're going to try and do it lickety split.
Yes.
So the number one thing is, if you sell something that is basically a commodity, then you're going to be able to charge plus or minus about what everybody else is charging. So if you go look on Amazon, that's the definition of commodity pricing. If you want to buy a drill, you want to buy a Black & Decker drill, you want to buy a Milwaukee drill. A Milwaukee drill costs what it costs, whether you're buying it from hardware store in Dubuque, or you're buying it from somebody, direct from the factory, from their store. It pretty much costs what it costs. That's not where you want to be, because when you're selling a commodity, it's a race to the bottom. I think Dan Kennedy, who was a famous copywriting / direct response business coach, said that. So you don't want to be there. Now, overpricing versus underpricing really comes down to a couple things. One is your value proposition. What is the value that you are communicating or not communicating about whatever it is that you're selling? So part of that is sales copy. Part of that is building up the benefits. Part of that is really understanding what the payoffs are going to be for the person that buys from you, and selling that. And most people underprice, or their value proposition sucks, because they talk about the features. They don't talk about the benefits and the meaning of those benefits to the customer, to the person that's potentially going to buy. So when you do that, always goes back to that example of a drill, but we're not going to use the example of a drill, because little Timmy, you missed out on your chance to build that birdhouse with little Timmy and look at that birdhouse for the next 30 years and reminisce about the great times you had with little Timmy. Now that he's grown and has children of his own, you don't have that touchstone of that love you had when little Timmy was 10, because you didn't buy that drill. So you suck. So it's too late for you, but it's not too late to get in shape. So we talk about the value proposition of Stu having a book. Like, what's your book that you have for fat guys who are over 40 that are scared they're going to die fat and young, and they buy that so that they can actually get back in shape? It's got a real nice title.
Is it like Tactical Fitness Over 40?
Yeah, but it's the one where you get back, and somebody gave them mad face. I pissed somebody off.
Rebuilding the foundation.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Rebuilding the foundation. So here's the thing. With that one, if Stu just talked about, hey, I'm gonna help you ease back into it, and you're not gonna get hurt, and I've got 12 different exercise routines, no matter how much of a couch potato you've morphed into, and all this other stuff. That book's worth, $9. How much is a book? An ebook's, fitness ebook is $9, $10, $15. It does, and that's all it's worth. But if Stu has an offer where it's, hey, this is, back on track, fitness over 40, rebuilding foundation. I'm going to show, you got the book. It's going to show you how to get back get back in shape, or maybe even get in the best shape of your life. This has been used by guys who can do more push-ups now than they could in their 20s. Their testosterone levels are going through the roof. All these benefits that you're talking about. And the cool thing is, when you get this, not only are you going to get that, you also get a 30-minute consultation with Stu Smith, who is the former Navy SEAL, who still to this day trains all of the guys coming out of the Naval Academy who are going to become Navy SEALs, trains special forces, police, firefighters. Stu's in amazing shape and can help you to do the exact same thing and help you develop a personalized program, and you start just adding stuff to the value to it. All of a sudden that ebook has gone from being $9 to being $97, or has even gone to being $197.
Nice. Because
you're adding the value to the offer. It's never that your price is too high. It's that, I gotta watch what I'm doing. Hey,
that's a really good point. Yeah,
your price is never too high. Your value is too low. If you decide how much you want to make, then you need to add on so much value that you're giving 10 times the value that you want to take out as far as price. And when you do that, your price is never too high. The other thing that we will tend to do, and I know you probably do this, Stu, you might tend to prejudge your audience's ability to pay. Yes. Because you might say, oh, these are young kids without any money. Guess what? Mom and dad have big fat credit cards with large limits. And mommy doesn't want junior. Well, some moms do. But some parents don't want fat Tommy living in the basement, sitting on the couch, hosing off them till they're 27 by law on their health insurance and their car insurance and their other stuff. And if there's any chance that Tubby Tommy could get in good shape and go in the military, mommy would pay for Stu Smith to wake Tubby Tommy's ass up in the morning with a phone call. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the kid who pays, it's the mom and dad that can pay. Also, guys over 40 tend to have money, and if they want to get back in shape and they're having a midlife crisis, they're going to pay. So you can extract the value up front in the price that you charge, also by structuring your funnel in such a way that you just extract the value from the high reactors. So maybe the best point the best price point for your book or for your product is $19, $29. Stack on the value like crazy, crazy. Make them feel like, oh my God, this is insane. And then in the first one-time offer, having an order bump, having a one-time offer, having another one-time offer, step them up, because 10 to 20% of those people that buy whatever it is you're selling on the front end will spend a lot more money. So if you don't have your funnel set up the right way, you're the one that's keeping people from giving you value. You're the one that's cheating people out of giving you extra money. And Vicky just said, if they're motivated enough, they'll find a way to pay. It's absolutely true.
That is true.
I mean, money replenishes. People pay off enough on their Overmax credit card to free up enough room to max it out again this month. And that's not my fault. That's not my problem. That is, I don't make a judgment about that one way or another. There was a time in my life when I had nothing but maxed out credit cards, and I don't now, but there was a time when I did, and I kept buying the next thing and the next thing and the next thing to try to find what was going to help me get the results that I was looking for. Now, eventually I realized that I needed to actually act on the stuff that I bought, and that the true answer was to take action on the stuff that I already had and the stuff that I knew. And then I got smart about the money that I spent. I still buy stuff all the time, but I think about it within the context of how it's going to help me do what I already know I need to do. And if it makes sense, I buy it in a heartbeat. Don't even think twice.
Love it.
So that's the other thing. And finally, so the first one was, well, I talked about a lot of stuff, but basically, structuring your funnel. Don't prejudge people's ability to pay whatever you're asking. And then the third thing is, the reason you will underprice is because you undervalue yourself. You undervalue the value of what it is that you're selling. Now, that might be because it's so easy for you. You just think everybody can do it, but it's not true. I mean, if you look at what Stu does, I mean, I tried and was bouncing from one thing to the next as far as fitness, and I was doing okay. But then the way Stu does his thing, it worked for me. I mean, it just works. It's all the combination of variety and periodization and macho stuff. And no, it's true. It's part of the reason I do it, is because, I mean, it's an ego hit for me to do workouts that Stu Smith sends me. I admit that. And then I've gotten results, and I don't want to lose those results. So what you can do if you're undercharging that way is really look at the value. Not value doesn't come from the price. Value comes from the result. So you got to look at what is the result for somebody who's able to lose 60 pounds, who's able to transform their body from, the physical age of an 80-year-old back down to a 30-year-old. There's some test they can do to figure that out. I'm just making shit up. But all of those things, a kid, can you put a price on having the path in your hands to be able to go from a 98-pound weakling to being able to be an elite warrior, if that's your dream? I mean, how can you put a price on making your dreams come true? So the value on that is huge. It's not a $19 book. This is the path to greatness. This is the path to your dreams coming true. So another thing that you can do to base your price of stuff is okay, if you had to hire somebody to do something for you, if you went to Fiverr, if you went to Upwork, if you went to somewhere and you had to hire somebody to do this. Now, that doesn't work with fitness, hiring somebody to do it for you, but it does work for hiring somebody to do it with you. If you were to hire a personal trainer to do this with you, to do all these workouts, I mean, I've got 100 workouts in here. If you were to hire a personal trainer at $40 an hour to do each one of these workouts for you and put it together and stand there over you to do it, that's a $4,000 value. But yet you get it all here in this book. If you were to create this sales letter, if you were to pay somebody to write this sales letter for you, at a minimum, you'd pay $3,000. If you went to Fiverr, you went to Upwork, you hired somebody to write this sales letter for you, at a minimum, they would charge you $2,000 to $3,000. So the value of this piece of software is $2,000 to $3,000, but it's actually multiples of that, because when you hire somebody to write that sales letter, you're getting one sales letter. When you get your hands on this wizard, you can write as many sales letters as you want. In fact, you might get so good at using this one piece of software that you go hang out your shingle on Fiverr or on Upwork, and you start charging other people $2,000 to $3,000 to use this piece of software to write sales letters for them. You like how I threw in that? I just tickled the greed gland of, they're not going to do it, but by doing that, I tickled them. They're like, wow, I could do that. That's some real value. Oh my God. I've turned it from an expense into a profit center just by saying that.
I love it.
So, by focusing on what it would cost to have somebody do it for you, somebody to do it with you, you can also focus on, okay, how much would you have to pay somebody to sit down and walk you through this one-on-one? I charge $1,900 an hour now to do coaching. to do. If you want to get on the Zoom with me and have me explain how to do something, it costs you $1,900. You pay it up front, and it's a 1 hour minimum. So, and you actually only get 50 minutes. So that's another way. You know, if I were to sit down and do this with you and show you how to do this, would be a minimum of 10 hours. So at $1,900 an hour, it'd be $19,000. Now you say to yourself, well, I couldn't charge $1,900. Okay, would you charge 50? I mean, inflation's running rampant in the world. If you're not making $50 an hour doing what you're doing it wrong. So even if $50 an hour to have to work with somebody at 10 hours, if it took them, it's $500 value. So this right here alone is worth this. And you do that with each thing in your stack. Now, I've had some people say, you know, well, the way my market works, we don't do bonus stacks. We just sell the one thing, you know. Well, that's dumb. Nobody said you can't offer bonuses. Nobody said you can't stack extra stuff on there. But one thing you can do to increase the value, if you're bound and determined to say, you know what, I'm not going to add anything to this. You can do a bonus, or you can do a benefit stack with your, you're able to do your, you know, all the benefits of whatever your product is. And by doing a benefit stack of all the cool payoffs they're going to get, that builds up huge value, so that when you hit them with the price and justify the price, you know, if you were going to pay me to do this, if you were going to pay somebody else, if you were going to have to figure this out on your own, it would take them. That's another way that you can create value. You know, if you want to do, the first time I did, true story. First time I ever put a video up, a full motion video up on the web with green screen, and, you know, it was the whole thing. It was like a 2-minute video. I don't even remember what the hell it was about, but it took me 50 hours to figure out how to do that video, to put it up, because that was when we were still on dial-up. I was doing full motion video back in 2003.
Damn.
And so it took me 50 hours to figure that out. I finally got it down to where I could get the whole thing done in about 15 minutes. But that first 50 hours, even if my time was only worth $50 an hour, $25 an hour, you know, that's a $750 value. That's a, you know, whatever it is, it's a ton. And you can tell people, Hen, if you were to go and try and figure this out on your own, whatever your hourly rate is, let's say you just make $20 an hour. It's going to take you 50 hours to figure this out. So that's $1,000 that you're going to spend either in blood, sweat, and tears, or you can pay me $97 and I'll show you exactly how to get it done in about 30 minutes. So that's another way that you can give that value, and doing that. So it's the better you understand their hot buttons, the better you stack the value, and the better you understand how to explain value, then it's just naturally easier to charge more, to feel like you have to charge more. That's the other thing. When you put it out there and you're like, okay, you're going to get this and it's worth this, and you're going to get this and it's worth this, and you understand where you're not just yanking that price out of your butt like a lot of people do, then you're going to look at that and go, well, damn, that really is about $6,000-$7,000 worth of value, and I can't charge $19 for this. So I either need to charge more, or I need to start pulling stuff away, or I need to rearrange it so they, you know, if you're like, I got to start with a $19 thing, then I'm going to start with that, and then I have my one-time offer and my order bump and my other stuff. You know, like for the Copywriting Secrets book, the book is free. You just pay shipping and handling, but then we have the order bump for the audio book that Stu and I did. And then I have a $97 order bump. And then I have, not order bump, but one-time offer. And then I have another one-time offer for $597 or $697. And people take it all day long. So it's understanding your audience and structuring your offer. But the biggest thing is just understanding that value and how you're able to express value. And that's how you do more as far as charging more and feeling good about it. You know, part of the reason why you undercharge is you don't understand your own value.
Yeah, I love that, Jim. You I needed to hear your motivational talk on value and pricing today. So I'm not sure about all the other listeners, but I definitely thought that was very beneficial. Another good one to check out is check out that Imposter Syndrome podcast we did a few weeks ago, because it goes into this with a little more psychology built around it as well, and that will fire you up. It will get you saying, "All right, doggone it, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and I can do this."
You is smart. You is beautiful. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, I thought that was real good today. You wanna wrap it up with any final thoughts, a summary for everybody?
You know what? I'm just being the podcast guy. I'm gonna say, go check out the previous podcasts that we've done, because they are all have little tidbits in there that will strike a chord the second time you listen to them. I've listened to them all again, and there's always something that says, you know what? As soon as I get home, I'm going to go into the Jim Edwards method, start pulling out the wizards. And then I went and changed all of my titles on one of my websites for all my products I sell, just to test it out.
Cool.
You know, and so anyway, there are little things like that that really kind of just get you pumped up to go do something and change things.
That's awesome.
That's
Awesome. Well, I would just remind everybody, those of you who are here with us live, next Monday, we're going to start the live 7-day ebook, Write Your Book Challenge. And so I'm going to walk you step by step live for 7 days through writing your book and publishing your book. You can get a free ticket to that event when you go to 7dayebook.com and sign up for the 7-day book version 3.0. Right now, it's a free bonus. Once I've done it live, we're making it evergreen. It's going to become an order bump. So if you haven't picked up your copy from 7-day ebook yet, 7dayebook.com, do it. And I'll see you live next Monday at 1:00 for the start of the 7-day Write Your Book Challenge. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Stu, we're going to end with a polka.
Sweet.